And taking a look at our top stories this afternoon, a crash along Southeast Division left a utility pole knocked over this morning, forcing road closures between 58th and 61st Avenues. Crews were on scene for hours working to make sure that the area was safe. Police say a car slammed into multiple utility poles overnight, even catching fire at one point before firefighters put it out. Witnesses told police they saw one or two people get out of that car and leave the scene. Police now working to figure out exactly who was driving. A man accused of holding a person hostage in Salem is in the hospital today after a Marion County Sheriff's deputy shot him. It happened yesterday morning at a house on State Street. When deputies arrived, they had some sort of altercation with 39-year-old Juan Carlos Gomez Valles. State police say he was armed with these two knives. At least one deputy fired and hit him. State police say the two deputies involved were both recruits with less than 1 year on the job. Well, March Madness is here. All 8 teams in the Portland Regional will be holding an open practice for fans and media today. The first game is tomorrow morning at 10:50 between High Point and Wisconsin. Gonzaga and Kennesaw State will be the final game tomorrow night at 7. All right, let's get a check on our weather now with Chris McGinnis. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, we got some sun out there right now. Well, depending on where you are. Filtered sunshine, we'll call it, from the springs to the waterfront right now in Vancouver, where the temperature has bounced up to 61 degrees at last check. Check out Salem and the beautiful bloom going here with the cherry blossoms along the Capitol Mall here. Sunshine is out at 63 right now in Salem. We do have some rain, though, in some cases. I'll show you that to the north here in just a second. It's 60 right now at PDX. Right now, Salem, as we mentioned, 63, 75 at lunchtime in Bend, but the rain keeping temperatures a little cooler right now in Astoria at 52. There you can see the rain that's been primarily targeting Clatsop, northern Columbia, and portions of northern Cowlitz County throughout the morning. Astoria so far has picked up about 0.15 of an inch of rain so far, and you can see the track that rain has been following here for the last 3 hours. I would expect it to remain kind of on this path, which means that basically from Clark County and points south, we will be seeing varying degrees of cloud cover, but generally dry. Wet along the Oregon 7 at the North Oregon coast in Astoria. We're dry here over downtown. Our Wells Fargo camera actually pointed to the south, where you can see the southern periphery of that cloud cover. You get down towards like Woodburn and Salem, and it's almost fully sunny. All right, 60 at PDX, and this afternoon we've got temperatures inching into the upper 60s. The warmest day of the year so far was Monday at 68. We may rival that despite the cloud cover this afternoon. Tim, back to you.
Thanks, Chris. A new audit out today found that the city of Portland has not consistently delivered on promises related to the city's arts and education fund. If you live in Portland, you're probably aware of the $35 arts tax that you have to pay each year. That tax was approved by voters back in 2012 and is meant to pay for things like art teachers and giving grants to arts organizations. The audit found the tax generates over $11 million annually, totaling about $146 million by the year 25 fiscal year, I should say. But despite all that, grant funds have shrunk because they split money with school districts, which are facing rising costs. The tax also is not adjusted for inflation. And there's a lot more to this audit. We will have a full deep dive on it coming up later today at KGW.com.
If people can't be quiet and have to ask people to be removed, please.
Tensions high at a Portland City Council hearing last night as leaders discussed banning law enforcement from wearing face coverings. Opponents are mad this ordinance doesn't apply to federal officers like immigration agents, but city councilors don't have the authority to do that. They say the goal is to help people tell local police from federal agents. There was no vote last night, and keep in mind both Oregon and Washington state lawmakers approved their own legislation that does prevent ICE officers from wearing masks. A Pulse nightclub in Orlando, Florida was torn down today. It was 10 years ago in June that a gunman opened fire at the club, killing 49 people and leaving 53 wounded. There are plans to build a permanent memorial at the site. Maciel Leva has the latest.
It's not a big building, and it's blocked that you can take down with the equipment you see behind me, so they'll do it strategically and start from one corner.
The clearing process is expected to take several weeks, including the removal of both the Pulse building, the adjacent building, and any other structures within the fence to clear the site.
We've been waiting for 10 years for even our opinion to matter at some point. So I really do hope, there's something that actually represents each one of the victims.
As the demolition moves forward, Belinette Ocasio-Capó, sister of Paul's victim Luis Omar Ocasio-Capó, says she has mixed feelings knowing the building will no longer be there.
I actually get sentimental about the situation, so now it's going to be a very weird experience going over there, seeing that it's not there anymore, where he was actually last alive. So it's like a bittersweet moment, I guess.
Mayor Dyer said he hopes once the permanent memorial is complete, it can bring peace to those impacted by the tragedy.
We know it won't bring complete closure, but we hope that it'll bring some peace of mind and give us a place that we can come and think about and remember the victims and give a place for families to come and be at peace.
Today, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt weighed in on the resignation of Joe Kent. The former congressional candidate from Southwest Washington stepped down yesterday from his position as director of the National Counterterrorism Center. In a social media post, Kent said it's because he can't support the war in Iran and blamed Israel's influence over the United States. Leavitt told reporters outside the White House that the president is disappointed in Kent.
He said he always thought Joe Kent was a good guy, obviously has a commendable military record and experience. However, he was not someone who was involved in the presidential daily brief, part of the president's intelligence briefings over the last several months. Have not seen him here at the White House for quite some time, and the president feels it's deeply disappointing that after the president gave him an opportunity in this administration to serve the American people, that he would resign with a letter filled with falsehoods, accusing the president of the United States by being controlled by a foreign country. That's both insulting and laughable all at the same time.
Trump told reporters yesterday that he's glad Kent is out of his administration. Well, Israel says it killed the Iranian intelligence minister overnight, one day after killing Iran's top national security official and a high-ranking general. The deaths create a major vacuum at the top of Iran's leadership. At this point, it's not clear who the United States could make a deal with inside of Iran's leadership if President Trump decides to engage in ceasefire talks. Iran has retaliated with several strikes against Tel Aviv, killing 2 people. The war in Iran could soon mean higher costs for air travel. Rising fuel prices tied to the war, along with the staffing shortages at TSA, are creating a tough combination for travelers. Corey Johnson has more on what this could mean for your next trip.
Now, this is really about rising fuel costs and just how unpredictable they've become. Jet fuel prices have surged amid the war in Iran, pushing up airline operating costs worldwide. Now, some carriers are already increasing ticket prices and adding fuel surcharges to keep up. Analysts say consumers won't just feel this at the gas pump, but also when they go to book flights, especially last-minute trips. Recent data showing airfare increasing week to week for many U.S. airlines, with some seeing significant spikes. And meanwhile, TSA staffing issues during the DHS shutdown could impact travel times. But the bigger concern right now for travelers is how high ticket prices could climb.
Well, where's the cost going to go? I mean, it's all on our heads. And now I've got to go get in a security line staffed with people who aren't even getting paid. I mean, this is crazy. And I think we need to inject some sanity into this whole thing and stop trying to blow people up that don't need to be blown up and get gas prices back to where they should be and leave us alone. How's that?
Experts say the key question right now is how long those fuel prices will remain high, because ultimately that will drive what you end up paying when you plan to fly. Back to you.
Gas prices for drivers have taken another jump. According to AAA, the national average for a gallon of gas is now sitting at about $3.84. Washington is over $5 a gallon now. Oregon is sitting at $4.61 a gallon, and businesses that rely on deliveries are starting to feel the pinch. Flowers by Donna in Tigard says it's looking at making small cutbacks, like eliminating bows and even the boxes that they use, to make up for what they're paying for gas.
We're trying to absorb as much cost as we can to try to keep our prices down and stay competitive. But at the end of the day, we can only absorb so much.
It's not easy, you know what I mean? The cost of everything is going up, and it's just another thing that you can add to the list of costs that we have to deal with as a small business.
Joe Biagini is the co-owner of a pizza shop in Southwest Portland. He says to keep up with the rising cost of gas and other economic pressures, they're planning to raise delivery fees from $4 to $5. Nice still to come here. If you're heading to the airport, why not stop off at a brand new Mikiko Mochi Donuts pop-up, where you can find the shop and some of the flavors that they have. Delicious. And it's almost time to play ball in Seattle. Opening day of the baseball season is just a week away. The new food options at T-Mobile Park this season.
I'm Matthew Herchick, new morning anchor at KGW. I'm a huge sports fan, and I know I might be from the Buckeye State, but I'm excited to explore what the Rose City has to offer. I want to make sure you're prepared for the day, whether it's bringing you breaking news or sharing those inspirational stories that make you smile. We've got you covered. Because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to Portland's #1 streaming newscast, Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
A new long-term pop-up at PDX is launching today. Last year, Mikiko Mochi Donuts was voted Portland's favorite donut in the Oregonian's Reader's Choice Awards. The donuts are naturally gluten-free, dairy-free, and also nut-free, and will be available for the next year at PDX before you go through TSA.
We're really excited to be able to sort of show what we can do to a broader community. You know, there's so many international people coming through here and people from all over the states. Like, I think we've become sort of beloved in Portland, which is great, and now we get the chance to show that to everybody else.
That is great. They have tons of unique flavors too to choose from, including ube, matcha, black sesame with jam, and even something called funfetti. The shop has earned a year-long residency at PDX, so there's plenty of time to try them out. Seattle Mariners opening day is just a little more than a week away now. The team previewed new food options for this season at T-Mobile Park. That includes this Washington State ferry boat filled with nachos, fish and chips, or chicken tenders. It even works like it's like a real boat. You can put it in some water when you're done eating. That's pretty cool. If that doesn't float your boat, well, there are other new options for fans as well. You can try chocolate mousse, which is soft serve with mousse cookies, ube coconut rice krispies from Marination, or pizza dough bites with tomato gravy from Ballard Pizza. I want one of each, Chris. One of each.
You stole my line.
I had to, sorry.
I did too. Hey, check this out. Beautiful sunshine up in the Cascades at this lunchtime hour after kind of a colorful start to the day. Let me give you a little time lapse from our Springs to the Waterfront camera in Vancouver. Wasn't that pretty? Mount Hood off to the left and the broken cloud cover still with us in some cases this afternoon. Rain, though, primarily to the north of the Portland-Vancouver metro area today and probably tomorrow. We'll break that down with your forecast after the break.
Hi, I'm Christine Padawanich. I'm a journalist at KGW, and I love exploring Portland's amazing food scene. New spot? I'm there. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the good stuff that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
An update this afternoon. It started out as a Portland hometown nonprofit and has since grown into one of the world's leading humanitarian agencies. Now Mercy Corps is announcing some major changes to its identity. The organization will soon be known as Prosper Global. Mercy Corps' Chief Development Officer says the new identity reflects its mission to deliver greater impact on a global scale, focusing on conflict, climate change, and crisis. The name change takes effect in September, and you can hear more about it on Straight Talk tomorrow evening. Well, a renewed effort is underway to protect the West Coast from potential tsunamis. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration announced it's funding 9 Alaska-owned seismic stations to monitor tsunami threats. Last year, you might remember, NOAA canceled funding to the Alaska Earthquake Center. The funding will also include sending out alerts to U.S. residents throughout the Pacific Northwest, Alaska, and other areas of the Pacific Ocean. Good to see that.
Critical information to have, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, you want to jump ahead to spring break, my man?
Why not? I mean, you know, a lot of us are looking forward to spring break. My kids being two people. I wanted to show you this. So here's the temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. This goes out March 23rd through the 27th. So exactly, basically all of next week. What it highlights is there's a real gradient in color here. What that means is that we're in a zone where the weather may be somewhat active. There'll be some cool days, maybe 1 or 2 wet days, and some days where, hey, we see some sunshine. So there's no overwhelming warm or cold or wet signature for the Pacific Northwest next week, although I can tell you Tuesday does look like a wet day. I did want to point out this. There is an enormous heat dome that is going to take shape here across the desert Southwest over the next couple of days here. Heat advisories and extreme heat warnings covering a lot of real estate for Arizona, southern Nevada, and a good chunk of Southern California as well. With expected high temperatures, check out these forecast highs. All of these cities over 100. Palm Springs on Friday, maybe 109. Yuma 108. Phoenix 107. And before you start saying, okay, it's the desert Southwest, it gets hot. It does not get this hot this early. In fact, the record in Phoenix on Friday, I think, is like 96. They're going to break their record by 10 or 11 degrees. That's not just breaking a record. That is absolutely smashing it. And to put more perspective to that, Phoenix's average first 100-degree day is May 10th. Their average first 105-degree day is May 30th. They're almost 2 months ahead of schedule with this kind of heat. So big time heat making big time news in the desert Southwest. Very similar to what we had during our epic and tragic 2021 heat dome event, where Portland hit 3 consecutive all-time record highs, 108, 112, 116. From that to cool and rain up to the north right now. Longview's getting wet, Astoria's getting wet. The rain line has been basically through Clatsop, northern Columbia, and the central part of Cowlitz County, and you can see the track that rain has followed over the last 3 hours. That will stay to our north today, but the occasional rain chances remain across the region through Friday, and I'll show you what I mean with futurecasts in just a second. That said, steadier rain or more frequent rain will be to the north and lesser rain to the south. In fact, you get down to Salem and Point South, you may not see any rain, or at least not more than 1/100 of an inch of rain or so between now and the end of the week. And temperatures remain on the mild side. Normal high this time of the year is 57. We're going to be in the upper 60s for the next few days. All right, rainfall between now and Saturday. Again, not much. In fact, models have definitely backed off from what they were showing yesterday. Still heavier amounts to the north. Not a whole lot here in the Portland, Vancouver metro area, and far less as you get to the south. So that's pretty much how the rest of the week is going to play out. We'll roll out the futurecast here into the afternoon and into Thursday. A lot of tomorrow looks dry, but again, with that wet weather targeting just to the north, it does then begin to pop some showers across our region tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, and during part of the day on Friday. But at one point, what was looking like it could be a fairly wet day on Friday does not look nearly as wet as it did 24 and 36 hours ago. So maybe a sign that we're inching towards even drier weather towards the weekend, which is great for the first weekend of spring break. The Dallas cameras show that really cool lenticular cloud cap there over Mount Hood this afternoon. Meanwhile, we've got kind of filtered sunshine. You really get a feel for the delineating cloud cover there over southern part of the metro area. You get south of like Wilsonville, we're seeing sunshine this afternoon, so that's kind of nice. 67 today here in Portland, 63 tomorrow, and then rain, likely light rain at some point during the day on Friday for the arrival of spring. We'll be right back.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
I'm Trina Green, a morning anchor at KGW and new dog mom to this sweet guy. Meet Barry. I love getting your mornings off to a great start, whether it's sharing stories of resilience and triumph in our community, or following breaking news from Beaverton to Gresham and everywhere in between. We've got you covered, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to KGW Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
The University of Notre Dame is offering free tuition to families with an annual income of below $150,000. Families with an annual income below $200,000 will get tuition half off. University officials said this expansion of its Pathways to Notre Dame initiative reflects the school's goal of ensuring a Notre Dame education is affordable and accessible to students from all socioeconomic backgrounds. The changes will start next school year. And we're going to give you a look at the zoo right now with our Skycam, and we're going to take a break. Be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Chris is back with a word about the weather.
You like 60s?
I do.
Near 70?
Bring it.
Okay, we got that for you this afternoon. Get out and enjoy. Filtered sunshine, temperatures inching to the upper 60s today. Mid 60s, little more cloud cover, slight chance of a shower tomorrow. Rain is likely Friday, but that is, light rain. So all in all, pretty good looking spring forecast for the first day of spring on Friday.
I like it a lot. All right. Nice to be with you, Chris, and nice to be with all of you. A reminder, we've added more live news to KGW Plus. Tune in to Sunrise exclusively on Plus from 7 to 9 a.m. and later tonight at 5:30. We certainly hope to see you then. Have a great afternoon, everyone.